stop coming back with thousands of photos that you're not even proud of. I'll show you how to get images that truly matter to you. And once you start using all 4 tips, your photography will transform instantly. Alright guys, there are 4 jobs every single photographer must master. Once you understand and use them, your photography will improve drastically. But make sure you work on all 4 of them simultaneously. Alright guys, the first real job of a photographer is knowing your camera inside out. You must know what happens to the image if you move a dial or a button in your camera even by a single click. And you have to know this here before you can see it through your camera. Meaning, you should know which part of the frame that subtle move will affect most. The knowledge of the camera has to be so solid that you on location are not thinking about anything technical, nothing whatsoever. Set your exposure, get it right, and that's it. Then you think about being creative. Exposure should not be on your mind. At least 80% of it should have been taken care of in preparation. Your mind should be free to ask only 2 questions. 1. What am I feeling here and now? Number 2. What do I want my audience to feel when they look at my photograph? I know there is so much to learn technically, but here is an easy tip. Choose one mode. Master that mode to depth. Prepare with this one mode before going out on a trip to photograph anything. This way, all you are focused on this one mode, on how it works best for the image you're going to create. Run that exposure in your mind with the mode you have chosen again and again and again before getting on location. And here's another one. Think of what if. What if it's darker? What if it's brighter? What if there is snow on the ground? What if there is no snow on the ground? I tell you, what if is your best friend in preparation. I live in manual with spot metering and small focusing point. I have used this combination so many times that even if you wake me up from deep sleep and put the camera in my hand, I will be able to make adjustments without looking. That is the level of muscle memory you want. Because when the moment happens, you don't want to negotiate with the camera. You make the image. Once the camera disappears from your hands, the real work begins. And that is knowing yourself. You think technical knowledge is tough? Sorry to bust your bubble, but knowing yourself is one of the most difficult things a photographer can do. My God, you absolutely will say to yourself, knowing yourself has nothing to do with photography. But I'm going to tell you, it has everything to do with photography simply because who creates the image? You! The camera doesn't do that, you do that. Now, you may not think it has anything to do with photography, but I have to tell you, 80% of great photographs come from the fact that the photographer or the artist knows the difference between good and excellent. Job number 2, knowing yourself and how it affects photography. If you don't understand who you are, what inspires you, what is good, what is excellent, and what story you want to tell, your images will always lack depth. The camera does not create emotions, you do. If you don't know what's bad or what's good for you, it's like a ship without a captain. Knowing who you are helps you tell the story the way you see it, the way you want others to see it. For me, I take chances in life. I love a challenge. I love action. It's a workout. Running with the buffalo. Do you see this in my images? Of course you do. I cannot take a picture of a horse quietly gazing in the field. That's just not me. And it would not reflect who I am. Okay, take a look at this. This tigress is a perfect example. She was walking and everybody around me kept saying, Ejaz, take a photograph. Ejaz, take a photograph. But I was just still. I wasn't doing anything. The minute she turned around and hissed at me, that's when I pressed the shutter button. I'm like, that's what I wanted. I wanted that energy, that hiss from her to be captured. A walking tiger didn't mean anything to me. So why would it mean anything to my audience? That moment that she hissed at me carried the same energy that I felt. And that is what makes this image powerful. Here, look at this bull. I was so close to him that I could feel his energy. I could feel his muscles. I could feel his heart beating really, really hard through his muscles. And that's what I wanted my audience to feel. Why would I take a picture of the same bull grazing quietly? That's just not who I am. I love to get a bull by its horns. And that is what I know about myself. And that is the audience I have. But knowing yourself just gives you direction. The real magic happens when you can take those feelings from inside you and make your audience feel the same way. Alright, so that brings us to the next job that photographers must master. That's creating feelings in your photographs. You know why it's so important? Because if somebody is not going to feel something in your photograph, they're going to move on within a second to the next image. A good photo is seen. A great photo is felt. When I photograph, I'm not just looking for the subject. I'm looking for emotion. I want you to feel the wind, the danger, the intimacy, the strength. Whatever I feel in the moment, I want my audience to feel exactly that. For example, when I photograph horses running in the snow, I just didn't want a sharp image of a horse in motion. I wanted my audience to feel the chaos, the power, and the beauty. Every decision, the angle, the exposure, the timing was to make the audience feel what I felt, standing right there in the freezing cold. And here's a tip. I research the subject so much that I can start seeing that subject in my mind before I can get on location. I can make the subject move, run, dance as I wish in my mind before I can see it in real life. And then when I am on location, I wait for the moment I have already seen to happen. That's when I press my shutter button. And now let's get real, okay? The images I see in my mind are way, way better than the ones that I capture. I always fall short of my imagination. But such is life. What can I do? Anyone can take a picture, but creating feelings? Now that is a job. Feelings can make your images powerful. So let's see how we can show people something they have never seen before. And that is our fourth job. Alright guys, showing people what they have never seen before. So you're going to turn around and say to me, that is impossible. With technology advancing so much and images all over the world, everybody has seen everything. And I'm going to say to you, no, that's not true. Because there is nobody in the world like you. You are unique. So what that means is your perspective is unique. And if your perspective is unique, then what you're going to show to your audience is going to be unique as well. So let's see how we can take this, put it into photography and show it to our audience and make this into a regular habit so people come back to see your images again and again and again. This doesn't mean that you have to travel to the end of the earth. Sometimes it's just revealing the beauty in the ordinary. Sometimes it's giving fresh perspective to something familiar. And the only way to do that is to know yourself. So you can show your unique perspective. Because there's no one in the world like you, what you will show will be unique as well. When I'm in the wild, I'm not just capturing the subject, I'm capturing the world that no one will ever stand inside because it's unique to me. The cold breath of the wolf in the Arctic, the silent power of a bison facing a storm, the small details of the wolf's eye that are so mesmerizing to me will be shown to the world with my unique perspective. But yes, these are moments few people will ever witness. But through my lens, I can share my unique value to them. Even with subjects that people think that they know, like the horses. My goal is to reveal that side that's unique to me, the way I see it. Not just a horse standing still, but the raw power of this majestic animal the way I see it. Their elegance, their spirit in motion, that's my unique way, and that is what I want to show the world. It's my job to find something in that subject that no one has ever seen the way I'm seeing it. It's your job to know what's unique to you, so you can show it to your audience. And that is the gift of photography. We have the responsibility to open doors and emotions for our audience, something that they would have never ever experienced otherwise. And when someone looks at your image and says, I've never seen it that way before, you've done your job as a photographer. So remember, the real job of a photographer isn't just taking photos, it's knowing your camera, it's knowing yourself, it's creating emotions, it's creating feelings, and it's showing the people something that they have never seen because it's coming from your unique perspective. Once you do these 4 things, your photography is going to transform to a totally different level. So for the technical stuff, if you guys want to go watch this playlist here, feel free to do that. And I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you.